Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to episode 21 of the Callous Mind Talking Head livecast with your immutable friend, Callous Mind. In today's episode, we're going to talk about a variety of sports stories, including Trevor Bauer signing with the Los Angeles Dodgers, the Pouncey brothers retiring from the NFL, Usman's win this past weekend, and much more. So I want to start by giving a shout out to all the new subscribers and supporters of this channel. I do sincerely appreciate your support and your viewing this show. And you can feel free to participate in the show by commenting in the live chat, as I will be reviewing those comments near the end of the show to kind of round everything out. So without further ado, I think we're going to go ahead and jump into the first story, which is Trevor Bauer signing with the Los Angeles Dodgers. And let's see. Okay. This story was from February 5th. Trevor Bauer, the 2020 National League Cy Young Award winner, has agreed to join the Los Angeles Dodgers, with the California native announcing his move in a YouTube video Friday. Bauer and the Dodgers are in agreement on a 3-year, $102 million deal that has opt-outs after years 1 and 2, sources told ESPN's Jeff Passan. Bauer is set to make $40 million in 2021, $45 million in 2022, sources said. Bauer, who has a notable online presence, appeared to tease his destination earlier Friday by offering a giveaway for a signed Dodgers hat on his website, though he also had several brief references to the New York Mets, believed to be the other finalists, on the site as well. Sources told Passan that the Mets offered a higher overall value than the Dodgers, but Los Angeles' offer will make him the highest paid player in each of the next 2 seasons. This season is about making sure history remembers us all. We wish to be. This season is about making sure history remembers us as we wish to be remembered, Bauer said in the video. This season is about adding to our legacy, and I can't wait, Dodger fans. So, as always, I will leave a link to this story in the description box below this video. Next story up, I thought was interesting. This actually came out, I think, just right before the Super Bowl. This is from February 6th. Philadelphia Eagles expected to trade quarterback Carson Wentz soon, sources say. The Philadelphia Eagles are expected to trade Carson Wentz in the coming days in what would be the latest blockbuster quarterback deal to rock the NFL, league sources told ESPN. The most pertinent questions now become where, when, and for what. But it could happen as early as this week per league sources, even as the Eagles continue to insist to other teams that they would be happy to bring Wentz back to Philadelphia. The Eagles are said to be looking for, in the words of one well-placed source, a Matthew Stafford package in return for Wentz. The Lions traded Stafford to the Rams last weekend for a third-round pick this year, 2 future first-round picks, and quarterback Jared Goff, the player selected directly in front of Wentz as the top 2 picks in the 2016 NFL Draft. Among the teams that have expressed some level of interest in Wentz are the Chicago Bears and Indianapolis Colts, sources told ESPN, although other teams have also called to gauge the market to see what a package for the Eagles quarterback would look like. It is all part of an NFL offseason that will feature a flurry of quarterback moves, with teams rushing to make sure they are not left behind. Once Wentz is traded, league sources believe it could help set the asking price for other deals, such as one involving New York Jets quarterback Sam Darnold. But a potential Wentz trade has been in motion for more than a week now, with the Eagles engaged in a flurry of trade conversations shortly after Stafford was sent to Los Angeles. Those talks escalated as the week went on, but the Eagles keep telling teams they do not plan on trading Wentz unless they get what they believe to be the appropriate compensation. The talk so far suggests they will, per league sources, which then would make 2020 second-round pick Jalen Hurts the Eagles' starting quarterback for the coming season. Although the Eagles do not feel rushed to trade Wentz, and nothing can be made official until the new league year begins March 17th, Wentz does have a $10 million roster bonus due on the third day of the league year that Philadelphia would have to pay if its former first-round pick is on the roster. It is why a trade is expected to be agreed to long before then. Wentz's departure would also leave the Eagles with a $34 million dead cap charge, adding onto their challenging cap situation, but Philadelphia has known the cap challenges that were ahead for months and has planned to address it, just as the Rams did with the departure and dead money on Goff. So, there you go. All right, let's jump into the UFC from this past weekend. This was dated February 13th. Kamaru Usman defeats Gilbert Burns by TKO to retain UFC welterweight title. Kamaru Usman and Gilbert Burns were full of emotion while embracing in the middle of the octagon on Saturday night. Burns had blood and tears running down his face. Some of their cornermen behind them were trying not to cry. Usman stopped Burns, his former teammate, via TKO at 34 seconds in the third round to defend the UFC welterweight title in the main event of UFC 258 in Las Vegas. Usman landed a right hand as he was switching stances to floor Burns, then slammed Burns with punches on the ground until referee Herb Dean pulled him off. Gilbert is a guy that I've known from the start, Usman said in his post-fight interview. I love him. This one was tough for me to deal with. Usman picked up his 13th straight win, surpassing legend Georges St. Pierre for the most consecutive wins in UFC welterweight history. Only Anderson Silva has won more than 13 straight fights in UFC history, winning 16 in a row from 2006 to 2012. Usman is tied with 6 other fighters with 13 consecutive wins. So this is interesting because when Masvidal fought Usman, I think he took him further, deeper into the rounds than Burns did, and wouldn't you know, Usman called out Masvidal after this fight, so that should be an interesting fight coming up. The first battle between those guys was pretty good, and I think the second one would be good as well. So it's something to look forward to in the UFC. And then, COVID continues to be an issue in the UFC and around the sports world, as NBA is now dealing with an outbreak. I believe one of the teams was dealing with an outbreak, so some of their games got postponed. Let's see here. Alright, let me dig up some of these other stories here. Give me one moment here. Alright, so the next story up here is Eagles, Jalen Hurts surprises 7-year-old family with 30,000 check for new home. This was from February 4th. Philadelphia Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts has been spreading a lot of love in and around the city of brotherly love. He connected with the family of a 7-year-old boy named Eric who is battling cancer through Alex's lemonade stand to fulfill their Christmas wishes during the past holiday season. Hertz learned over that time that the family of 7 from Nottingham, Pennsylvania, was living in a 2-bedroom trailer. So when he went to visit them, he surprised them with a check for $30,000 to put toward a new home. I know they've experienced a lot of adversity. They've had to deal with a lot of different things, Hertz said. But one thing I like to do is to be encouraging at all times, uplift those around me, and I just wanted to make an impact in the city of Philadelphia, in this area. Alex's Lemonade Stand, founded in 2005 in Wynwood, Pennsylvania, is a pediatric cancer charity dedicated to changing children's lives and supporting their families. Hertz, 22, also did a virtual meet and greet with students from Boys Latin Charter School in West Philadelphia earlier this month, along with the NFL Vice President of Football Operations, Roman Oben. Hertz revealed during the session that he was donating $10,000 to the school, along with bucket hats for the entire football team. So that's a great story. It's nice to see athletes giving back, and so that's a very, very cool story. Pardon me for a second while I get a drink. Alright, this story was from February 9th, and there's actually a follow-up to this one. Dallas Mavericks have stopped playing national anthem before home games at owner Mark Cuban's direction. So once again, this was from February 9th. The Dallas Mavericks have stopped playing the national anthem before home games at the direction of owner Mark Cuban. He confirmed to ESPN on Tuesday. The Mavericks do not plan to resume the tradition to play the national anthem before games in the future. Cuban, who declined further comment, made the decision after consulting with NBA Commissioner Adam Silver. The Mavericks did not announce the change in policy, but the national anthem has not been played before any of their 13 preseason or regular season games at the American Airlines Center this season. Let's see, there should have been another story associated with this. I believe that the NBA commissioner has since come out and said that every team will be playing the national anthem. Let me see if I can find that here. Yeah, I probably won't find that readily here on ESPN. Let's see here. Let me do a quick search on that. NBA National Anthem. Oh, that's interesting, from the Washington Post. Look at that. Let's see here. Right here, the Washington Post says Mark Cuban had it right the first time. Sports should stop playing the anthem. Really? I find that interesting because the reality is that it's the citizens of this country that make these sports what they are. So without them, probably wouldn't have that money. So, oh, and then here we go. 6 days ago. This is from February 10th. Mark Cuban says Dallas Mavericks didn't cancel the national anthem, cites ongoing dialogue with community. In the wake of the NBA statement Wednesday reiterating its long-standing policy that all teams will play the national anthem, Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban said during an appearance on ESPN's The Jump that his organization has no problem playing the anthem at all, and that the decision to not do so to this point in the season was a product of ongoing conversations with members of the community who felt the tradition did not fully represent them. Cuban on Tuesday has told ESPN that he had made the decision to stop playing the national anthem before home games after consulting with NBA Commissioner Adam Silver. The Mavericks did not announce the change in policy, but the national anthem had not played. We got that. We're always talking to our community. That's something Mavericks CEO Cynthia Marshall stands for and is very insistent upon. It has become a core part of who we are as the Dallas Mavericks. In listening to the community, there were quite a few people who voiced their concerns, really their fears that the national anthem did not fully represent them, that their voices were not being heard. So we've had a lot of conversations about whether or not we should play the anthem. And so during the first preseason game, we decided not to play it, just to see what the response was, knowing that we were going to have ongoing conversations about it. We didn't make any decision to never play the national anthem then. That wasn't the case at all. We didn't cancel the national anthem. We still had our flag flying proud up on the wall at the American Airlines Center, and everybody had the opportunity to address it and pray to it or salute it or whatever their feelings are. Cuban added that the organization had always discussed the fact that it would probably resume the playing of the anthem at some point, likely when fans were allowed back in the arena. The Mavericks did not have fans for their first 10 regular season games before allowing 1,500 vaccinated essential workers to attend Monday's game against Minnesota for free. There was never any final decision that was made, and that we would not play the anthem, Cuban said. Following the NBA's announcement, the Mavericks said they would play the anthem starting Wednesday night while releasing a statement from Cuban. We respect and always have respected the passion people have for the anthem and our country, Cuban said in the statement, but we also loudly hear the voices of those who feel that the anthem does not represent them. We feel that their voices need to be respected and heard because they have not been. So, there you go. Alright, next story up. I thought this was interesting. This was from February 12th. Texans give J.J. Watt, most beloved player in franchise history, chance to win elsewhere. When Houston Texans fans booed J.J. Watt on draft night in 2011, they couldn't have foreseen what was to come. They couldn't have known that Watt would become the face of the franchise, the best player in its 19-year history and legendary figure in Houston. On Friday, it was announced Watt had asked for and had been granted his release by the Texans, signifying that he and the McNair family have mutually parted ways. It was the latest move in a tumultuous offseason for a Texans team currently dealing with a trade request from franchise quarterback Deshaun Watson. Let's see here. In Watt's announcement, a video to the fans, he said that while he's looking forward to the new opportunity, it's always tough to move on. I came here 10 years ago as a kid from Wisconsin who'd never really been to Texas before, Watt said, and now I can't imagine my life without Texas in it. The way that you guys have treated me besides draft night, I mean, you guys booed me on draft night, but every day after that you treated me like family and truly feel like you're my family. And the way the Texans handled Watt's exit showed the respect the McNair family had for Watt. Houston could have tried to trade Watt for draft capital, but instead chose to release him more than a month before the start of free agency. Now he can sign with another team immediately. In a statement, team co-founder said senior chair Janice McNair said, simply put, there has been no person in the past decade who has made a greater impact on the Texans organization than J.J. Watt. Watt's most incredible stretch on the field came between 2012 and 2015 when he won 3 NFL Defensive Player of the Year awards, becoming the only player to record multiple seasons with 20 or more sacks since 1982. His 74.5 sacks were the second most through a player's first 5 seasons since individual sacks became an official statistic in 1982, according to ESPN Stats and Information. Watt didn't miss a game in his first 5 seasons, but he had 2 back surgeries in 2016, shattered his leg in 2017, and tore his pectoral muscle in 2019. All were season-ending injuries except for the torn pectoral muscle, from which he came back after 8 games for the playoffs. It was an unprecedented return made possible because he was willing to put in the work. In 2015, when Watt did not miss a game despite breaking his hand, he also played with 5 torn muscles that required off-season surgery. Good Lord. All right. Alright, I think I got one more for y'all before I review comments and we wrap this thing up here. So, as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and all that good stuff. Alright. Okay. Alright, so this was from February 12th. Pittsburgh Steelers center Maurkice Pouncey and twin brother Mike Pouncey of Los Angeles Chargers retire. So twin centers Maurkice Pouncey and Mike Pouncey have retired from the NFL. Ramon Foster, a former teammate of Maurkice, announced on Twitter, "It's my honor that my brothers from another asked me to announce the next stage in their life after over a decade at Maurkice Pouncey and Mike Pouncey are retiring from the NFL." Maurkice was drafted number 18 overall by the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2010 draft, while Mike went 15th overall to the Miami Dolphins the following year. The two were instantly full-time starters for their teams, primarily at center, though Mike spent a season at right guard in Miami. We began this journey at 6 years old, and now at 31 we will close this chapter of our lives as I announce my retirement from the NFL and walk away from the game, Mike Pouncey said in a statement provided by Foster. While Maurkice played 11 seasons with the Steelers, Mike spent 10 seasons between the Dolphins and Chargers after their college careers at Florida. Mike's final season ended in September when he went on injured reserve with season-ending hip surgery. A year earlier, the 4-time Pro Bowler season ended early with a neck injury suffered in early October. Maurkice Pouncey and Pittsburgh quarterback Ben Roethlisberger are close friends and often vowed to play as long as the other. Each has a contract that runs through the 2021 season, though Roethlisberger has not announced his intentions for the upcoming season. With his retirement, Pouncey leaves behind $6.475 million in dead cap, but he saves the team $8 million in cap space. So, pretty cool, man. Brothers made it all the way to the NFL, and now they're retiring. So, I bid you two gentlemen fair winds and following seas, and hope you guys are happy outside the NFL. Uh-oh, look like Adam's got a lot to say. Oh my God. Alright, so let's go see what Wentz isn't worth a used mop bucket and a case of dollar store Gatorade. The Bears better avoid him like the plague. Then again, knowing the Bears, they will probably trade Khalil Mack and 14 first-round draft picks for Wentz. Cuban is just trying to avoid being caught in the middle. When they do play the anthem, most of the players kneel, which pisses everyone off too. Plus, let's be honest, who the hell cares about the Mavericks? It gets his team in the headlines because their home attendance is about the same with go without. Oh, wow, that is brutal, man. Brutal. But possibly very, very true, man. So that's some funny stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about the kneeling for the anthem and all that stuff. But the reality is that, we live in a country where you can protest things, and that's all fine and good. So um, I just think that it's kind of a garbage play not to play the anthem at all. I mean, just to avoid the controversy. Hell, people can always make controversy out of nothing, and they usually do. So let's be honest with each other. And I wanted to say something about your text. When you said never bet against Brady, and you're absolutely right about that. But I will also say that Kansas City losing the Super Bowl to the Buccaneers, it didn't help that Kansas City was missing key offensive line help. So I'm not saying that would have been any different, because it almost looked like the Bucs waited till the Super Bowl to play their best game of the season. But either way, that's what it is. So congratulations to Tom Brady for his umpteenth Super Bowl championship, and he just keeps rocking and rolling. So thank you, Adam, for watching and your participation. I want to thank everybody else out there who watched, and I do plan on being here next Tuesday as well. So I look forward to seeing all of you next Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, or 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And until then, be good to yourselves and each other, and I'll talk to you later. God bless.